Are you thinking about or wanting to move to the Boise, Idaho area? And do you have a price range right in that like $350,000 to $500,000? If that's the price range that you're looking in, then this video is for you. Today, we're going to look inside a house that's right in that $400,000 to $500,000 price range. In addition to that, we're going to talk about what some other options are on the Boise Bench and surrounding the Boise area. Hey, if you're new here, my name's Craig Flood, and I make videos each week on this YouTube channel about what it's like to move to the state of Idaho, what it's like to live here, buy real estate here, and do life here. Additionally, I'm a licensed real estate agent with an amazing team and great partners who help people just like you make that transition and relocation to Idaho. You can call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends, and we would love to assist. So we're going to be talking about houses right in the $350,000 to $500,000 range, and also we're going to walk through a house right around that $400,000, $500,000 range at the end of the video. In addition to that, we're going to talk about the Boise Bench and how you can find homes in that price range here. Right now, the median sale price in Boise is just over $500,000, but there are a lot of good options that are coming up on the market right now that could be a good option for you. So again, if you're in that price range, enjoy this video as we explore Idaho, specifically Boise, and what homes can look like in that price range. So as we jump in, let's just look at a map real quick so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So here we have Boise right in the center. Again, just to reiterate this stuff, this is what we call the Treasure Valley. So you got Boise, Eagle, Meridian, Kuna, Nampa. We got Caldwell, Middleton. Those are your main things. Emmett out there is also really popular if you're wanting to get away a little bit, get some land. Today, we're going to look at homes right in that $350,000 to $500,000 price range in this area right here. And in addition to that, we're going to tour a home that is kind of tucked onto the bench right in this area. This is the Boise Bench. You see it's surrounded by Interstate 84, 184 right here. And then it's actually kind of raised up too. So it's like a bench. It's above the city. The elevation is up. Additionally, you can kind of see the Boise Airport is right here. So let's hop over to Zillow real quick. We'll pull up some homes. We'll look at a few, and then I'll give you a walking tour through one of those homes. All right, here we are on Zillow. This should look really similar. It looks just like the Google map we were looking at. The first home that I want to highlight to you guys right here is going to be 449. Its location is right over here. Something unique about this, again, you have downtown right here. So this home's going to be north of the Boise River, very desirable area. So it's going to be north of the Boise River. The reason that's so desirable is that you have a lot of nice little neighborhoods over here, but additionally, you're really close to the foothills. So if you like getting out for hiking, walking, and biking, it's a really good area because it's at your fingertips. From that home, you could ride your mountain bike if you're into mountain biking. You could ride from the house and get into the foothills. So again, here is a home right in that $350,000 to $500,000 price range. This is going to be a 3 to 1,200 square feet, and it's at 449, as you can see. Now, this home is a little bit newer than some of the other ones we're going to look at. This one was built, as you can see, in 1988. Nice house, exterior. I love that black and white paint job that they did. Beautiful landscaping, bushes, shrubs, got a nice open floor plan. That's something you're going to see in some of these newer homes. On the older homes, you're going to see where it's kind of more boxed off. Rooms are kind of separated. They don't really want to spread things out. Some of you I talk to and you love open floor plans. Some of you I talk to and you're like, oh, I don't want to see the dirty dishes in the kitchen. I want an older home because I like how you hide that away. You can move into the living room and you don't visually see it. It doesn't stress you out. You get to relax in the living room. This is not that house. So as we scroll down, something I really like is a fireplace. There's so much charm to be had in a fireplace. Depending on what they have, you could do gas logs, you could do gas inserts, and then some of the older houses have a proper kind of wood burning fireplace. That's what my house had when I bought it. It was an old mid-century home on the Boise Bench. So as we keep scrolling through, here you're seeing the kitchen, nice windows, nice sink, nice countertops. You got these classic old doors on these older homes. They did a nice job staging this. You got the mirrors for the closets. Something that's really nice about this location, again, is going to be its location to the Boise River and the Boise foothills. And then here, something that is also unique about this house is that it has a community area in the back. Some of those neighborhoods, especially over there, I often find that they have these parks that really aren't open to the public. In fact, most people driving by wouldn't even know they're there, but the community kind of walks into them and they're surrounded by houses. Maybe they have like 1, 2, or 3 entry points, but it's a great spot to go for a walk. It feels really private. It's your own space and the community space. Let your dog off the leash possibly, go run around. Maybe it's got a play area for your kids if you got kids to go play in the park. And you don't got to go to the major public parks, but you kind of get that more private space. It's also a good way to meet your neighbors. And here you can see it in this photo, and they definitely want you to see it, and I think that's a great idea. Here's this home right here. Here's that community park area, and then all the way back here, you're gonna see the foothills. That section of the foothills is great. I've done tons of riding in that area. That's essentially called Siemens Gulch, and the mountain biking is phenomenal. It's just an all-around great area. All right, the next home I want to show you guys is going to be up here on the Boise Bench. So we were just kind of up here. We were north of the river. Now we're going south of the river, south of the city. Again, this is the airport right here. Here's downtown Boise. And then if we scroll in, we're going to look at this house right here, 499. So a couple things about this house. I think this is a very beautiful and charming house. Don't let me sway you. It's built in 1959, so quite a bit older than that last house that we just looked at. This house is brick. It's got beautiful trees. It's got great landscaping. This is a 3-2. Look at the square footage though, 2,800 square feet. This is going to have a semi kind of unfinished basement, but you're almost doubling the square footage that you had on that last house. And you're paying a little bit more too. Again, something so valuable about that last house is its location. It's close to the foothills. It's close to the Boise River. Again, this is the bench. Things tend to be a little bit more affordable up here. Once you get off the bench and closer to the river, prices tend to go up a little bit. So again, if you're in that $350,000 to $500,000 range, you're kind of looking at the bench, you're looking at West Boise, and then you kind of got sprinklings of homes as you kind of move towards Eagle and Meridian. So let's just kind of scroll through the photos on this house and kind of see what it looks like. Again, an older home, more of that floor to ceiling kind of window that they got going on here. Nice large overhang with a covered walkway. Entryway is nice. You got stone. I love how they continued the brick into the house. You're also going to have hardwood floors in this house. A lot of older homes, you're typically going to find these hardwoods, but not always. A good way to check if you're in a house is go into a living room or a bedroom or anything like that, or even a closet. But a lot of times you can pull up the vents that are on the floor, and as the vent comes out, you can kind of look at the side and you can see the layers of flooring, and you might see that you find carpet to carpet padding to hardwood floors, and a lot of times you can pull those carpets up, and then of course you're hoping at that point that the hardwood floors are in great condition and that you can refinish them. And even if they're in somewhat bad condition, sometimes they can be fixed. But this house has lovely hardwood floors. Hey, I just wanted to pause for a second. If you're serious about getting moved to Idaho, then reach out. I can do a consultation with you. We can figure out how we can best help, and ideally probably help you plan a scouting trip where you come here for 3 to 4 days to see what it's like and to see if it's going to be a good fit. Call, text, or email, days, nights, or weekends. We're here for you. So here you're going to see that fireplace as well. Again, a really nice mantle, really well done. Very charming. This is definitely fall into that kind of mid-century modern category. Now, this house isn't completely updated, but a house like this, I feel like, tends to be really timeless. These cabinets look really good. Dated tile, but if you're okay with that, I kind of see that. I don't know if that's new. I want to say that it is, but they kind of match the time and period of it. Almost like a one-piece sheet of linoleum, which is very typical for an era house like that. Beautiful built-ins on that house, so that's really nice. Man, look at that. That is a dated stove. Very classic looking, though. It'll probably outlast all of our stoves. Comment down below if you bought appliances and you're shocked that they're just not built like they used to be anymore. So here now we're looking down the hallway. We're seeing some of the bedrooms. Got the bathroom with that classic pink. I'm amazed they let it go. And the tub. Nice bedrooms there. Hardwood floors, laundry room, another bathroom. And here we go, the stairs. So let's see what's downstairs. Now remember, the square footage on this house is more than double what that last house was that we just looked at. So here we go. Now we're downstairs. You're also seeing the construction of this house. So you see these exposed beams that are running all the way from the front of the house to the back of the house, and then they're supporting like a tongue and groove board. The nice thing about old houses like this is that you have that tongue and groove board right there. So that tongue and groove board is probably about that thick. And then right on top of that, you got hardwoods that are about that thick. So your whole floor section is about that thick. Now, the nice thing about that is that when you go into these basements, the ceiling is really tall. So as you would walk into this basement, yes, the beam, that exact point is kind of low, but in between the gaps, it tends to be very high, and it makes the basements feel really large. Whereas some that don't have construction like this, the ceiling has quite a bit of drop down that really kind of crams in and makes the basement feel not as big. So here we go. This is where the staircase comes down. And here you're going to see exposed plumbing, HVAC system, water lines. You also got the classic workbench that you find in these old houses. And then a lot of rooms. So you have some windows, though those are not up to code as egress windows. Here's another room, the classic solo toilet. Very, very interesting. Very uncomfortable if you were on that toilet. If somebody walks down on you, it's like, what do? You're so exposed. But it also looks like it's in really good shape. But this house could use a lot of love. Again, not a huge backyard. This house in particular is kind of right on a corner. Not a lot of depth to that backyard, but a covered back patio. I always say in my videos, getting a covered patio, no matter what it is, I guarantee you're really going to enjoy that in the summertime. But really beautiful, beautiful shrubs. Everything looks really well taken care of. A lot of charm. All right, let's look at the next house. This house I'm actually going to be walking you guys through, so again, you can see a hands-on example of a house as I'm walking through it. All right, we're back out here on Zillow. Now let's just look at this again. The last house we just looked at was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,800 square feet, just shy of $500,000. Now let's go look at this one, couple minutes away, again on the Boise bench. Now this house right here, this is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,175 square feet. Now that is quite the difference compared to what we just looked at. And this one's listed at $412,000 currently and had a price cut of $7,000 recently. Well, today we're going to check out this house right behind me. It is right under the $500,000 price point. It's got a lot of charm and hardwood floors, and this is a good example of something that you could get on the Boise bench. So here we are stepping into this home. You step right into the living room. You got the dining and the kitchen right over here. Something I love about these old homes that you're going to get the hardwood floors. Not always, but you're definitely going to get them in a lot of them. This one is nice. They have a fireplace. They chose to put a gas insert into this fireplace, which doesn't always have as much of the charm as a wood-burning fireplace, but it's definitely half the work. Anybody who has or has had a wood-burning fireplace totally knows that. But let's go look around at more things and see what you guys think about this place. So now we're in the kitchen. They're going to call this a galley kitchen. It's almost like a hallway as you cut through. The hardwood stop. They go to a linoleum in here. You got your stove and your fridge right next to each other. This is a little tip for you guys. When you have a small kitchen, sometimes it can run into some challenges in terms of appliances. So I had this in one of the first homes that me and my wife owned, but having a stove this close to the fridge can introduce a little bit of challenges with heat or splash. And so sometimes you almost want to put something protective along this. But even this has the tiniest little gap. It might even make sense to build something that slips in here just so you have a little bit of counter space. But with these old homes, the kitchen isn't always ideal with its layout, and sometimes there are things you can do to make it better. So that'd be something to watch out for when you're looking for an old home, just in like practical use, the pain points that might arise over time as you live with the space. Now, directly off the kitchen is right behind us. Now we're in the laundry room, but also this is going to be your access point to the backyard. A couple things I'm going to say about this. One, the laundry's here. It is so nice to have the laundry on the same level. Now, granted, I get it. This is a single-story house, but one of the benefits of a single-story house is that the laundry's on the same level. You don't got to go into the basement to hit the laundry and things like that. I'm speaking from experience of pain points. We currently live in a home where we have a basement, which is great. We got 4 kids, so it's awesome to have the space, but the laundry's downstairs and it's such a pain in the butt. And I'm just like, I keep a running list of the things that I would love to have in the future. And one of them is having laundry on the main level. So the other thing I'll say about this is that this is almost a bit like a mud room. In this space, I would imagine hanging coat rack up here, putting shoes here. Even though this isn't the front door, there is a door out the back that gives you access to the garage. So I just think if you were coming home from like a ski trip from Bogus Basin, you could come straight into this laundry room, shed all your wet gear, throw it straight into the dryer back here, and then you'd move into a nice clean house, maybe slip some slippers on. So those are things that I think about. It's also nice if you have kids or a dog, anybody's playing outside, you can clean them up. And again, the washer and dryer are right here ready to go. Now, I want to take a sec to talk about the electrical panel. So this house was built, I think, in the 1950s, 1957 maybe. This panel's definitely been updated. In those older homes, you could be getting tube and knob, just a lot of dated things. So one nice thing about this house is that it has a somewhat updated panel. This isn't completely brand new, but it's close enough. You're getting away from a lot of the older stuff. So when looking at an older home, things you want to be thinking about is what kind of condition is the plumbing in? What kind of condition is the roof in? What kind of condition is the electrical panel in? Additionally, on some of these older homes, you could get into some really old electrical systems where you even have kind of two-prong outlets where you don't have the three-prong where it's essentially accepting the ground. And it's just little things like that that are a little bothersome. And then when you move in, you're just thinking, okay, we're probably going to have to spend a couple grand to update the panel. And then you talk about possibly updating wire and outlets. So whenever you're looking at a home, you're always kind of thinking about, okay, if we own that home for 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, what are the things that we're going to do? What are the costs of those things going to be, and start factoring those things into a home purchase, knowing, okay, well, if we buy this home, what are the things that we're going to want to invest in it, maybe in the first 5 years, 2 years, or maybe even 1 year, depending on the shape that things are in. So, but if I saw something like this, I'd be like, oh, the electrical is probably in really good shape. This is definitely an updated panel. And then you could maybe do some research for a good home inspector would come in and be like, well, what kind of conditioning is the wiring in, and things like that. But again, really nice that this has a newer panel already on it. One more thing to note about the kitchen. Something great about this house is that it has a dishwasher in it. So me and my wife, when we bought our first home, we did not have a dishwasher. We ended up doing a home remodel and we put a dishwasher in. It was like the best thing ever. So again, when you're looking at old homes, it could be possible that it doesn't have a dishwasher, or the dishwasher is dated and needs updating, or the dishwasher has maybe a weird shape to it. Maybe it's like an extra small dishwasher, which is going to be a little bit challenging to find a new one for. There's lots of little things like that. But again, this house, it's got a nice dishwasher on it. It's got that electrical. So far, it's ready to go and could be very easy to move into, and you're not having to change a lot of things right off the bat. So here is our first bedroom on the right. Again, hardwood floors, very nice back here. Got the built-in closets with the built-in cabinets above it. Also right here, we have built-ins, great little spot for your linens. This is going to be bedroom number 2. And the outlets I was talking about, when this house was originally built, it definitely didn't have outlets like this. There wouldn't have been that ground, so it just would have been the top 2 plugs. Much nicer that those are updated. That doesn't mean that the wire has always been updated, even if they have that. It depends on the process that they took, if everything's up to code. Here's bedroom number 3. And then let's look at the bathroom, and then we can go check the outside. It's going to be the bathroom. So a nice tub. Again, if you have kids, tub's always really good. Got the toilet back there, and then me in the mirror shot. So here's the backyard. Let's start off by talking about, they got a covered patio. They did a paver patio, which is kind of nice. It's probably got some good drainage too, because the water can go between the pavers a lot of times. And a nice yard, and the slope of the yard is going away from the house, which is really important because you don't want water heading towards your house. Now, it's not the most level of yard, so if you're out here playing or doing anything like that, you'll definitely notice balls roll towards the fence. And let me show you a few shots of this. We'll walk around and then we'll go look at the garage. So this is going to be the backyard. There's your electrical meter coming in. You got a hose. That's going to be your access to the crawl space. These are kind of nice. You see these on all these old houses, these essentially sunshades that keep the sun out. If I moved in, I'd probably take them off, but they do serve a very practical purpose, probably keep the house a lot cooler. You got a cedar fence between you and your neighbors. Let's just be snoopy and peek over this fence here. AC unit. You got the gas line over there. Again, I love the brick on this house. Flower beds with some nice bushes in the summertime. Got some trees. You can kind of see into your neighbor's yard back here. You got an alleyway, so you're not directly on your neighbor. This is kind of interesting. Ooh, boy. That is a big old slab of concrete. I wonder if this is one of those guys that ran the antenna poles up in his yard 50 feet. Over here, you got a sprinkler thing popping up. You got a vinyl fence on this side. I think these things just last forever. And then you got your gate right here. So they keep the yard waste bin over here on the side. This is going to be your neighbor's house. Got about 10 feet between you and your neighbor, so 5 to your property line. And then we got the garage right here. So let's just see if we can get into that garage. But just to show it to you guys out here, really nice too. They got a beautiful tree in the front yard. We're right off Orchard, which is one of the main streets, and that's going to be Planet Fitness right there. But that's what this looks like outside. And it recently has a new roof on it too, which is another really nice thing. And from what it looks like too, they did a good job. They flashed it correctly under the siding over there. But again, whenever you buy a home, getting a great home inspector to let you know everything that is wrong or could be wrong with the house, so that you can negotiate on it and know exactly what you're getting into. And real quick, let's just talk about this front porch. That could be a beautiful little potter with some plants and bring some color in. They got a storm door on, so you could technically leave that open and lock it. That would let a lot of light into your house. But then you got this like nice little covered area. It is a bit on the narrow side, as you can see. But I don't know, it's nice. It kind of keeps the water off your front door, keeps the water off your front windows, and it definitely adds some charm to these old houses. So here we are in the garage. You're going to have your HVAC system in the garage here running off gas, and also a water heater also running off gas. You see they're vented up to the top. This is going to be your gas lines right here. But single car garage. Might be a little hard to get any full-size rig in here, but I bet you could totally do it. You got a window right here. Everything's framed up right here. It looks like this used to be a closet where you could maybe lock off some tools. That looks like the original studs and everything, but they tore that down and then just made it completely accessible. I'm not sure why they did that. My old house has something kind of similar to that. But this is your single-car garage. So again, you could, go on a ski trip, load all your gear through here, cut through the house, not get wet as you pass through this area, step right into the laundry room, and then you're doing your laundry and you have a nice kind of break. If you enjoyed this video, you'd probably enjoy this video next, where me and my business partner Spencer give a driving tour of the Boise Bench, where 2 of the homes were that you just saw. I'll see you guys in the next video.